What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at some potential second line center options for Winnipeg to go out and acquire this offseason. The Jets are looking for a second line center. It was a need in the regular season and it remains a need heading here into the offseason. So there have been some names thrown out in the media, and we're going to talk about a few of them that I could see the Jets maybe having some interest in. Without further ado, let's get on into this one. The first player we're going to be talking about is Vegas Golden Knights center William Carlson. Carlson is a really good two-way centerman that can put up points, but is also very good defensively as well. A guy that would really fit well in the Jets, second line center position. I think he'd be a great fit. Now, the Golden Knights would probably prefer to keep him, but they are looking to clear out some cap space so that they can make some other moves. And at 32 years old, William Carlson is getting a little bit older. They are looking to ship him off. For the next couple of seasons, he's going to be making $5.9 million, a very digestible cap hit for his production. 32 years old, he put up 29 points in 53 games last season because of injury. Missed a lot of the season, but did look very good when he was playing. Of course, this guy is a cup winner. He's had some fantastic seasons. 78 points is his career high. I do believe that William Carlson would be a very nice fit for the Jets. I think that Vegas isn't going to be just selling him for cheap because they want to clear some cap. They are going to be looking for the best deal. I don't think it matters that the Jets are a Western Conference opponent. I really don't think that Vegas cares. I think they're just looking for the best return that they can possibly get. A lot of teams are looking for a second line center coming into this year, so I'm sure that he'll have a lot of interest, and Vegas won't have a problem getting a good return for him. It's definitely not going to be, pennies going back the other way because of the age and the contract. William Carlson is still a very productive player, and, Vegas is going to get a return, mirroring that. The only thing that I could see being a problem here if the Jets were to want to pursue Carlson is his moderated no-trade clause. So, if Winnipeg is on his list of teams that he will not go to, he doesn't have to come here if he doesn't want to. So even if Vegas accepts the trade, he can axe the trade, right? So we'll see what happens, see if the Jets show any interest, and, if William Carlson's at all interested in coming north, we will see. But, so William Carlson, really good fit, I believe, for the Winnipeg Jets, and one that I'm sure they will be kicking tires on. We're going to move on over to a flashier name in Marco Rossi from the Minnesota Wild. Rossi is 23 years old, Austrian-born player, 24 goals, 36 assists for 60 points last season in a full 82 games. Drafted one pick before Cole Perfetti in his draft year. Marco Rossi, very good player. He is on the trade block because, Minnesota kind of underutilized him a little bit in the playoffs. Felt a little bit slighted by that. Was up and down the lineup all season long. Felt like he could have been used more. He was asking for a 7-year, $7 million deal from the Wild to match Matt Boldy. That did not materialize, and now they are looking to shop him. The asking price appears to be a late first-round pick, as that's what Minnesota asked from the Philadelphia Flyers, but they had declined. They didn't think they'd be able to get a deal that they felt comfortable with for Marco Rossi, 7x7. It sounds like a lot, $7 million, but with the cap going up as much as it's going to in the next few years, I really don't see that as a large contract. In 3-4 years, that's not really going to be too much at all. Player salaries are going up, and Marco Rossi only wanting $7 million after putting up a 60-point season at 23 years old actually really surprised me. So why don't people want to pay this guy? Why don't people want to trade a fairly low price of a late first-round pick for Marco Rossi? Well, he's 5'9", and that is the issue here. There are not a lot of 5'9" centers in the NHL. I don't believe there is another 5'9" center in the NHL, actually. But Marco Rossi is a very good player, and not your typical undersized one either. He's very strong. In his draft year, that was the book on him. Ended up going the pick before Cole Perfetti, 9th overall, to the Minnesota Wild, and he's done very well in his time there. His production's been great, but being undersized has, kind of pushed him down the priority list for the Minnesota Wild. Typically, they are a bit more of a, bang and crash team. I think anybody would be lucky to have a guy like Marco Rossi. And if you don't want to play him at center, you can play him on the wing. He's played on the wing in his career before too. And I think at 7 years, $7 million, if the Jets were to approach him and ask if he was willing to sign long term, I don't really see a reason why you wouldn't do this, to add a 60-point player to your squad when you're probably going to lose Nikolai Ehlers. If you do lose Ehlers, then you need to fill a second-line center position and a second-line right-wing position. I mean, you can try to do that with Nikita Chibrikov and Brad Lambert. However, I don't think that either of those guys are going to be, adding nearly as much impact as a Nikolai Ehlers would. You need to fill that spot with a guy that's been around for a little while. I think Marco Rossi would fit the bill at center or the wing. Rossi would be a really fun addition. However, I just really don't see this one happening. First of all, I don't think the Jets make this move at all if they don't think they can sign him long term. Second of all, I don't even know if they'd, really be that interested. I'm sure they'd be interested in the production, obviously, but at center at 5'9", I just, I don't see it happening. NHL clubs love to add those big centers. Those are always the chase pieces. I'm not so sure if, he's up on the board of what the Winnipeg Jets are looking at right now. I think they will be looking to add, some impact into the second line there, especially if they lose Nikolai Ehlers, but I just don't see it. I just really don't see this one happening, unfortunately. Last but not least, we're going to be talking about Jonathan Taves, unfortunately. Taves is making his NHL return. The Winnipeg-born centerman, obviously we know he's had a great career with the Chicago Blackhawks, winning 3 Stanley Cups. He was a great player in his prime. Near the end of his career there, before he got sick, he was regressing, and he's been out of the league for what will be 3 seasons. If he does return, he will return this upcoming season. If it is with the Winnipeg Jets, and they do look to put him in the second line center role, I think that's crazy. I don't think that that's something that they should be doing. I think if they look to put him in a bottom 6 role, fine. If he ends up being better than a bottom 6er and flourishes, fine. But if you were looking at this Jets team and you see an old Jonathan Taves that hasn't played in 3 years and probably has durability issues, and you say, yeah, that is my second line center, you might as well throw in the towel. Darren Dreger had mentioned that, he could fill the Jets second line position. That's why I'm even including him on this list. Obviously, if I was making my own list, he wouldn't even be in my top 10 to fill the second line center position. If the Jets look to add him in a bottom 6 role, fine. I just really am not a fan of this move at this point in Jonathan Taves' career. If you want to go ahead and put him in the bottom 6, like I said before, and he ends up doing well, that's great. But if you're really banking on a guy in his late 30s at this point who hasn't played for 3 years to step in and produce at a second line, level production, I really just don't think that it's going to happen. And I think you got to shoot higher if you're the Jets. Have an insurance policy at least. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Jonathan Taves apparently is a candidate for the second line center position, but we will see. But that's all I got today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. What did you guys think about the options here? These were just a few. There's obviously more out there, but just the ones that I saw getting a lot of noise kind of in and around the fan base and the media as a whole. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.